In the darkest years of World War II, when Europe was being torn apart by the forces of Nazi Germany, thousands of Jewish families faced an unbearable choice: stay and risk persecution, deportation, and death, or flee into the unknown. For many, escape meant a perilous journey south toward the rugged mountains of the Pyrenees, a natural barrier separating occupied France from neutral Spain. This is the story of those desperate crossings, often made under the cover of darkness, where survival depended on courage, luck, and the help of strangers. By 1940, much of Western Europe had fallen under Nazi control. France, once a refuge, was divided into two zones: the occupied north and the collaborationist regime in the south known as Vichy France. While initially less harsh than direct Nazi rule, Vichy authorities soon began cooperating in the arrest and deportation of Jews. Cities like Marseille became gathering points for refugees, artists, intellectuals, families, anyone trying to escape the tightening grip of persecution. But legal exits were rare. Visas were difficult to obtain, borders were closing, and time was running out. For many, the only path left was illegal and dangerous. The Pyrenees stretch for hundreds of kilometers, forming a jagged natural wall between France and Spain. In peacetime, they are beautiful but challenging. In wartime, they became a lifeline and a graveyard. Refugees would begin their journey in small groups, often guided by smugglers or resistance members known as passeurs. These guides knew hidden trails, but even they could not guarantee safety. The crossings were usually done at night to avoid detection by German patrols or French police. The terrain was unforgiving. Steep slopes, icy winds, and sudden storms turned the journey into a test of endurance. Many refugees were not prepared. Elderly people, children, and those weakened by hunger or fear struggled to keep up. There were no lights, no marked paths, only whispers, footsteps, and the constant fear of being caught. The dangers were not just natural. If captured before crossing the border, refugees could be handed over to Nazi authorities. If caught after entering Spain, they were often imprisoned, as the Spanish regime under Franco did not officially welcome illegal entrants, even if they were fleeing persecution. Despite this, Spain remained a critical gateway. From there, many refugees hoped to reach Portugal, and especially the port city of Lisbon, one of the few places in Europe where ships still departed for the United States and other safe destinations. But reaching Spain was only half the battle. The success of many crossings depended on networks of brave individuals who risked their lives to help others. Among them were members of the French resistance, local villagers, and international aid workers. One notable figure was Varian Fry, an American journalist who operated in Marseille. With the help of a small team, Fry organized escape routes, forged documents, and guided refugees toward safety. He helped thousands, including prominent artists and intellectuals, escape Nazi persecution. Local guides also played a crucial role. These men and women, often farmers or shepherds, knew the mountains intimately. For a fee, or sometimes out of pure compassion, they led refugees through secret paths. Their knowledge could mean the difference between life and death. Each crossing carried its own story. A mother carrying her child through freezing winds. A scholar leaving behind a lifetime of work. A teenager forced to grow up overnight. Some made it. Many did not. There are accounts of refugees slipping on icy paths and falling into ravines. Others froze during sudden storms. Some were betrayed or captured just before reaching safety. Yet, despite these tragedies, the flow of people never stopped. What drove them forward was not just fear, but hope. Hope of freedom. Hope of survival. Hope of a future beyond war. Crossing into Spain did not guarantee immediate freedom. Refugees were often detained in prisons or internment camps. Conditions could be harsh, and uncertainty remained high. However, international pressure and humanitarian efforts sometimes led to their release. From there, aid organizations helped arrange travel documents and passage to Portugal. Lisbon became a symbol of escape. Ships left its harbor carrying those who had survived the journey. People who had crossed mountains, borders, and unimaginable odds. For them, the nightmare was not over, but they had survived its worst chapter. The midnight crossings of the Pyrenees are a powerful reminder of both human cruelty and human resilience. They show how ordinary people can become heroes, and how survival often depends on the kindness of strangers. These journeys also highlight a broader truth about the Holocaust. While millions perished, countless others fought to live, resist, and escape. Their stories are not just about suffering, but about courage. Today, the Pyrenees stand quiet and peaceful. Trails once used in desperation are now walked by hikers and tourists. But beneath that calm lies a history written in footsteps taken at midnight, steps driven by fear, guided by hope. The story of Jewish refugees crossing the Pyrenees is not just a historical episode. It is a human story, one that speaks to the enduring will to survive against overwhelming odds. It reminds us that borders can divide, but they can also become paths to freedom. That even in the darkest times, there are those who will risk everything to help others. And above all, it reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is uncertain, steep, and shrouded in darkness.